And wherever you're at is exciting. I am eating graham crackers that I'm dunking into milk. Sure enough, we get note takers. Wonder why mine isn't. Uh,
Yeah, I wonder why mine doesn't show up either. Gotta check that.
got 2 more graham crackers to go. And had an interesting morning. I for the last week or so, I've had a little bit of vertigo issues, which I don't know if everybody knows what those are, but my balance has been a little weird. And never really had that in my life before. Uh, it's pretty normal as you age to lose a little bit of your balance. But this was pretty dramatic. I mean, I would take a step and after, especially right after I stood up after sitting for a while, um, I have to reach over to balance myself. Um, that's just really weird. Anyway, uh, morning I went out to look for a couple supplies. Finished the graham crackers. Um, now I drink the milk. So I soaked up about half that container of milk, that glass of milk with the graham crackers, and I'll drink the rest. I've done that since I was, remember, 5 years old, whatever. I don't know how old I was. But um, I went over to do some shopping. Actually was looking for a um, tool to open up a valve stem and to open it and then remove it so I could put slime into a tire. It says confirm my speaking language. It looks like I've switched to a different language. I don't think so. I think I'm talking English. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it's saying that. But anyway, as I was there shopping, I just felt lightheaded and dizzy. And I worry a little about that. At any point in your life, you should worry about when you feel dizzy. But I worry a little more about it. One, because I'm not getting any younger. And two, because of having this health issues that I had 3 years ago now, or more than 3 years, where I developed a heart arrhythmia and and some respiratory issues, which went away. But um, the arrhythmia I've actually been controlling over the last 3.5 years with a couple of medications, one of them being a blood thinner called Xarelto, second one being a heart regulator called Metropol. Well, there are some potential side effects from those, but I've never had them really. and at least I'm not aware that I had. One is the potential to create blood clots, and that's why they sort of work together. The Xarelto is blood thinner to break up the blood clots. Well, blood clots are what cause strokes a lot of times. So I broke out the AI this morning and said, here's what's going on. Here are some symptoms that I had. And what do you think they indicate and what should I do? Well, very quickly said, get to the hospital, get down, get to where you're safe. Don't be moving around. Don't be driving. Don't be doing that kind of thing. And get somebody to either take you to the hospital or to a urgent care facility or to, or to call an ambulance if it was bad enough. Well, I didn't do any of those because the other thing I wanted to do before I did anything was use a couple of tools that I have to measure my health. So talking about this a little bit because it's useful for economics, because I think you should have these tools. And that doesn't matter if you're 15 years old or in your 80s. One of them is a pulse oximeter, which is a device that you put on your finger, and I don't have one here right now. Um, but I was using it this morning. I don't remember where Deb put it. She put it away. But it measures your blood oxygen level. It measures your heart rate. And those are two things that if you got lower than normal or higher than normal on the heart rate, you should be concerned. Well, my normal resting heart rate's in the low 50s, and it was 55 when I measured it. And my blood oxygen's in the mid to high 90s, and it was in that range. So that wasn't a problem. Another thing you should have is a home. I've got mine right here. A home blood pressure measurement device, which you just take apart. Mine's got a little green light on it that'll blink, and I actually have used it so much it's been it doesn't appear that it's actually working. But then you put it on your arm. Second, I'm gonna show you how it works. So you can put it over the sleeve. It should be about even or lower than your heart. It shouldn't be higher. And then put it on your upper arm. When you tighten it, have the box sort of even with your heart. And then in my case, I have an app on my phone for this particular brand, but there's lots of brands of them out there. And mine is called a Cardia. And that's spelled with a Q. And then I push a button, a little picture starts, but you can hear it actually. It's now, and I see the numbers for the systolic blood pressure and the diastolic going up. And they'll reach a certain point as this inflates on my arm. And it'll measure both my heart rate and my systolic and diastolic blood pressure, and mine's going to be good. I can tell it already. It's actually a little on the low side of good, 96 over 51. My heart rate was 64. I usually don't take that first measurement. By the way, all I do is click next, the bottom of the screen here. So there you're seeing the rate. And that actually records it, puts it on a map. So it shows where I was when I took the measurement. I could put notes on it. Not going to do that. So all I'm going to do is put it over here to done, and I'm going to start it again. And now that I'm been sitting here a little bit, it'll probably be much more appropriate because I think that was a little low. This morning, the rate was 120, which is about where my normal systemic or systolic blood pressure is. Getting phone calls. I'm 95 over 50, so it's even lower right now, which is good. With a pulse at 63, I've been out and walking around and such. This morning it was 57. So I measured my blood pressure, which was fine. And lastly, I have a little device, also called a cardia, but spelled with a K rather than a Q, which is just this little device. And you put your fingers on this. I'm going to take this blood pressure device off. Anybody has any questions about this kind of stuff? Everybody ought to have one of these. I'm serious, no matter your age, because you start to have any kind of health challenges, and better to catch them early than to let them get worse over time. So the last device is a EKG measurement. So it'll actually measure my, not just my heart rate, but it'll measure the true rhythms of my heart. That's where you can determine whether you've got a arrhythmia going on. And what arrhythmia is a normal heart rate, and in between the normal rate, let's say it's 55, in between the normal beat, and it'd be about like that. That would be about 1 a second. That's about what the rate would be. My finger's doing what it's doing here. It's about a second apart. In between there, another beat occurs that could go up in the hundreds, so that it could be some people, when they have arrhythmia, it's in the 180s, 190s. And so I'm going to put this last measurement in. Then I'm going to open up Cardia, the other one that I have. Spelled with a K. So you can see that this measured it earlier today. And you can see it says normal sinus rhythm. It shows the actual chart that it creates. So I'm going to do it again now. And this one doesn't work as well if it's not on a hard surface, but I can get it to work. So earlier today I did 3 times, and my normal sinus rhythm was 57 beats per minute, and then the rhythm of the beat was appropriate. So I'm going to click on the X on that, and I'm going to say that let's record. And do that and push. So I'm pushing on that little device that I showed you. Just trying to be quiet while it's measuring. It measures for 30 seconds. Sometimes it does what it just did, which it said it didn't have good enough data, so it stopped. So I'll start it again. Key to this is to keep breathing. So normal sinus rhythm with 62 beats per minute, which is again a little higher, and that's what it was similar on the blood pressure measurement. Remember, there's the actual rhythm itself. The abrupt are the actual beats, and the others are the other portions. So what it's doing is measuring all the different movement of your heart, which would be if there was arrhythmia in between those obvious peaks there, there'd be a whole bunch of other peaks, lots of them that would be showing, and that would be indicative of an arrhythmia. So that's done and everything's fine. So I don't need to worry about it in the short term. Anyway, I don't know why I got dizzy like I did, but I did. So one of the things I think I've done recently, which I have to follow, and you guys should be thinking about it for you, is I can very easily, anybody that's very active can easily get dehydrated. And especially as we're moving into summer, temperatures outside where we're going to be doing anything, if it's not just in an air conditioned room, are going to be higher. And you really want to make sure you drink enough fluids. I'm not a big water drinker, so I drink, in this case, sparkling water. It's a company called Spindrift. Doesn't matter, it's just a company. But that's the one that I enjoy, and I'll drink it. So as always, if you ever want to be looking at them, Alicia's always awesome in that she puts in interpretations of things that we've talked about. So she gave a definition of arrhythmia there, which is accurate, which is really what it is. So we're going to talk about a few things today. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, this one. I always get the screen sharing wrong. Mark, is it showing my primary screen here where it says Monster Box Sweepstakes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an ad, so I'm gonna get rid of that. But earlier today, I was on with Mike Dillard, and I was in a what's called an inner circle call with him with a few of the people that are in his course, his organization that he has, and we were talking about gold and silver. And I have not used this company, but it is one that I want to start to use. And it's called South Dakota Bullion. SD is South Dakota Bullion. And they make a lot of different products, or they market a bunch of different products in the gold and silver and precious metals area. But one of the things that they do that I have not done with them is to buy gold, basically bills. So this is like a dollar bill, paper money, fake money now here in the US, but that is 24 karat gold. This one is actually got, and they've got some kind of I just dropped that measurement device in my chair, and I need to find it here before I lose it. So just a second. There it is. But these are relatively inexpensive, and you can get these down to $3 to get one bill, and that's shipped to you. And there are a number of these companies, but there's only 6 states in the US that allow this. It has to be something that allows states to publish money. And this Utah's done it, South Dakota's done it, Florida's done it. I don't remember the other 3 right now. But in this case, you can buy one of these gold notes that's actually what's called a 5 for $32 by wire, 32, 33, 26, a little higher if you buy with Bitcoin, or if you play with a credit card, it's more because they have a processing fee that they would charge. So if you did that math, it's probably a 3 or 4% fee that they're charging. This is not the only company that does this. There are a number of them that do these gold backs. Here's an example, another one called Metal Mark. These are higher quantity amounts. And so they each have a certain amount of gold or silver in them. And gold's on a real uptick right now. It's moving upward in its value. And so some of us who believe that gold and silver are going to come back as our currencies of exchange, and these marks can be traded, and they have implicit value, which is based on what the value of gold is at any given time, or silver. This happens to be 1 milligram, no, 1,000 milligrams. And that's sold out actually. So the 500 milligram note is $102. You can buy cheaper ones. There's a silver one here. And they are licensed and copyrighted and all the other sorts of protection sorts of things that you need from them. And they'll store them for you, or they'll ship them to you and you can store them yourself. Obviously, if you're storing them yourself, you risk having them stolen. If they're stolen, they're storing them and you need them for some kind of transaction that you want to be doing, then you wouldn't have those in your hands. So you wouldn't be able to do the transaction. So I wanted to show you these two companies, Metal Mark and then South Dakota Bullion. Actually, I have a third one, which is called Ampex, AmpMex, excuse me. And they also have bills that are made out of precious metals, so gold, silver, platinum. Platinum is more valuable than gold. They also have coins. What was the question there? I was hearing in my mind something. There's different categories of platinum that you can buy. You can buy bars and rounds. Gold, you can buy bullion. Bars. Again, the gold backs, which are the bills. And finally, one more company, which is called Goldback. So this last one was called AppMex. Previous one was Metalmark. This one is called Goldback. They were actually the first company that made these thin pieces of paper covered with gold, and then weighed down to the 10,000th of an ounce. I just got a notice on my phone about a news story that is in the news. It's one of the things that in the US here we should probably be concerned about, and that's that Elon Musk, who's been a big part of the early government activity of the Trump administration, has now left the administration and is upset with this new bill that will either be passed or not by Congress to put a new budget in place. And it's not that it has to be done before October, which is when the fiscal year starts, but it's always smart that it gets done before then. And so one of the things that our president has been doing is pushing Congress to get this passed. And he calls it the big, beautiful bill, which includes very little other than a budget for the US. So anyway, here's this different things about different products that Goldback has. These are their actual bullion, and I think this is actually another coin type. There are these states, remember I mentioned, that have the ability to have their own currency printed. So Wyoming, Utah, South Dakota, New Hampshire, Nevada. There's six. Those are five. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just five. I actually do think it's six. Not seeing what the sixth one is though yet. Wyoming, South Dakota, Utah, Nevada, New Hampshire. Well, I don't know what the sixth one is right now. Anyway, that's something that I've been working with this week and think you guys should pay attention to. Mark and I have been working together on a new business area. We've talked about it in a couple of the previous Talk with Wayne sessions, which is an auction site for dogs. So I'm going to have Mark bring up what he's done to this point and show it to you guys and let you give us some opinions on it. So why don't you pull up with where you're at on the dog
Okay.
auctions?
Okay. So yeah, give me a second. I'll pull up the site that I've been designing um for auctions. So I'll take the screen and share it. Okay. So so this is the back end. I'll go to the front end. So so this is the front page.
And it's not what we're going to use the name. This is just we're modeling this after a classic horse auction, but we're going to change the names. But
Right.
probably a lot of the other information and the pictures and things are going to be what it's like.
Yeah, the look and functions are going to be pretty close to what they have, and we're going to display dogs and their information on this page, and then when you click this button to bid on it, you'll be taken to the bidding page where there'll be a video, pictures of the dog, and then you can enter your username and then your bid, and it'll show all the bidding history here. This will show how long time you have before the bidding closes. So pretty much standard bidding site. And this timer is actually I set to 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, this will close, and current bid is 0. And then we're planning on like the amount of increment on the bidding, and then how it'll be displayed, how it'll be stored. Those are all backend functions that we're designing right now. So yep, that is what I've done so far.
Well, Um, the other thing that we've been working on is websites for dog organizations, particularly clubs, those that are there for various different um, types of dogs. So why don't you show them what you've done in the Idaho Brittany Club, which is a club that I belong to. And they've asked us to help them do a new website. And then we're going to look at some really crummy ones.
Yeah,
Clubs is not that bad, but there are some that are very bad, and we're going to hopefully get the contracts to do those.
great. Okay, so you want me to show the original one or the one I've been working on?
Show both. Show one and then the other.
The one we've been doing?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So here's I'll pull it up a second.
I did this session last week from Riggins, and I'm home in Nampa now. We didn't say that as we started today.
Okay. So again, this is the home page and has all the information that the original site has. It has a calendar to show you events that are coming up. Um, and then it has a menu where it takes you to different pages, so we can go to another page uh, that shows membership, um, and then club officials, so officers, and then events. We'll go to this page and show you events. So you can see like hunt test, specialty show, dog training, special events, and then some pictures. Uh, so every page brags where they display the winning dogs. Um, so these are all like champions. And here are some more links that you can go to. You'll find about us, blogs, our social media presence. And this store, we'll use it for probably sales. Um, if we have auctions and things like that. Then one more page is the link page. And this has different other website links. So a listing of some more documents, PDFs. Um, yeah, that's how it's coming together. And also, yeah, they have their own Facebook page that I linked to. but they do not have other, like they do not have these two. So we will design these and link also.
Got something over that. That's got the, I think it's got the zoom thing. You need to move it, Mark. It's down there in the
Oh,
bottom.
it's covering it. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, and I stopped it. Let's see what happens now. Zoom thing covering again.
It's not, the screen's not up. No, yeah, it still is, but it's all right. It's just,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
one that you need to get rid of is in the middle of the page. I want you to show some crummy sites now, Mark.
Okay.
Show you why there's a need here. Sounds like Alicia's meeting with Robert Fewer today. He specializes in reptiles and amphibians. Coming up with some of those, Mark. Just pick from the list that, just do a search. I'll do it and show them to you. Let me do it. I'll take the screen and do it.
Okay.
You just do a search for, I'm gonna actually do it for retriever clubs because I haven't looked. Seeing retriever clubs in the US. Now, again, I'll tell you, this is going to be a nice looking site. This is, I happen to know this one. Well, it knows me, and that's why I picked golden retrievers. But the golden retriever national site is really well done, and they work on it frequently. So this is very modernized. And the whole screening of, different things that Goldens can do, a bunch of other different clubs that you could become a member of that associated with them. And then here's the menu for other things, events. So that's a good site. Now let's go to a not so good one. Fire Valley Retriever Club. Never heard of this. Oh, this is, it's actually, it looks like this is not necessarily a club. It's got combination. It's just a site that you can put your web information on. It's in Montana. It's not Fire Valley, it's Five Valley. This isn't bad. It's way better than most. what this one is. These are all pro litter ones. It's not a bad looking site. Golden Gate Labrador Retriever Club. This isn't bad. Not a bad site. Let's go to another one. Michigan Flyways. Let's see this one. Not a bad site either. Finding more nicer ones in the retriever world. This isn't a bad one. So we're finding some pretty good ones. Actually, I actually looked at that one earlier. I don't know why that's a couple different links to it. Pine oak. Let's try this one. See this one? Hen oak. Not bad. Little Rock, Arkansas. Pretty nice training ground. This is old school. This one can be improved. This has got an old look to it.
Yeah.
You can see, look at replace this text with your copyright. So it didn't even street, address, city, state, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just, let's see, we can look at the page source and see if it's one like Wix or
Yeah, maybe.
see anything. I think we've seen something here. Wild apricot. I'm not sure how this one's, what the underlying source code is. So there's an example, some sites. We have been working on books, and I want to show real quick. One of the things we've done is for Riggins for our Hot Springs property. I can spell. It is a document for anybody who'd want to potentially fund us and be partners with us. So it uses Kajabi as its platform. Now, this is a modern looking website, everybody. Notice how the color changed as we scroll down. Again, that's just, it, it's, it grabs your attention. It keeps you awake as you're looking at it. This is actually the pool at the site, so there are real pictures from it. There's an image gallery, which you've seen a bunch of these images. And I've got so many now. I'm just going to quickly scroll through these. Keep going down because now I've got it broken into two parts. This is the first part and the second. This is part two. And captions. That's my dog, Sis. There she is again. It's one of our staff, Brad's up on top of our walk-in cooler, looking at the motor for it. But anyway, there's that. And then this is a pitch deck, which means it's just a bunch of slides with pictures rather than a bunch of words. Where is it? What are the problems we're solving and how are we going to solve them? What makes us unique? What are our values? What's our vision? What's the market? Who are the competitors? How much do we need? What's the timeline? What's a growth strategy? A little bit about our history, who's our team, and we've done this before. Picture of the lodging units and amenities, different activities that we have. Programs we offer, financial forecasts. And I see I need to make some changes. So we're going to end this by showing you something. So that's the end of the book. And the last piece is actually a very detailed business plan. And notice the sound. These are flip books, which we think are a great way to portray documents. Hundred and 60 pages long, so 123. But I'm going to actually go in and do there's some mistakes. So I'm going to go back to it. End on this. There's the page we were just on. We customize it. there were a couple of things I noticed as I was looking at this. And it's actually not here, it was in Designer. So I actually need to go into Designer, not Kajabi. I'll show you the back office of Designer. We're big advocates of Designer. These are the flipbook products. So I'm going to look in at the gallery, and I believe, no, it's this one, pitch deck, and we're going to make a few changes. Let's keep getting phone calls. Customize it. And I actually have to go. I just realized it's not the changes don't need to be made here. They need to be made in so sick of stuff. Keep coming to the wrong one. Here, I'm going to show you the mistakes that were made. And I need to correct. Near the end, one of them's on this. Notice this, through this. Ah, didn't mean to do that. There, that's what I meant to do. Notice why I'm doing that. It was covering up this number 4. There we go. That's corrected. Now these are not supposed to be here, so I'm going to get rid of them. None of these are a big deal, but it's just a little frustrating that they're still there. I noticed one other slide that had them on it. This one. And again, we show you tools that we use because we think they're ones that you would enjoy using. They'd be good for you. Here we go, another little bit of error. That was it. Ah, this one's got one on it. These were in the theme that we used, and oh, it didn't go away. So now I have to go back and download this as a PDF. And then put it into Designer, and then put Designer into the code from designer into Kajabi. So those are the steps. Well, let's see. I had a couple other things I wanted to show you just to end off the day. Some apps that we've started to use that are new. Oh, no. Met this fellow today, and his name is Gene Scott, and he's a member of Mike Dillard's organization, and he hosts environmental conferences. And this is one that he's going to be having in May of 2026. And it's about PFAS. We've talked about PFAS before as being an issue that is becoming the next sort of big forever chemical, they call it, problem in environmental sciences. Problem for people out in the world that is an environmental problem. And just showing you the website for this conference, which is going to come up in the near future, in the next year. And this is Gene Scott right here. These are a little bit older pictures. And let me see if I've got another one of his conferences. Hmm, don't have one there. So quickly at some images, some things that I recently took some views of. There was a conference that a concert that we went to. Listen to this. Let's see what we've got. See if you can tell who it is. In the sky, who is it, Mark? Just keep your head. Who is that, Mark? Who is that, Mark?
I no, I can't. I don't know.
Alicia, who is that? I should know. You just got to call. James Taylor.
Steven Taylor?
James Taylor, not
James
Stephen.
Taylor. Okay. Okay.
This is the same concert. There's some depictions of things that we thought we could build up at Riggins. These are some lots and what they could look like with some gardens on them. Here's the sort of an upgraded version of our current lodge. So here's what it looks like inside right now. So that's not an upgraded version. That's live. That's not AI. These are AI. I'm so sick of these stupid phone calls. All right. Well, I think we'll call it. Oh, this is Viking winning a blue ribbon at an event recently. I built a bird cage. It looks just like this one. There's my new little trailer. I don't think I've shown a picture of that yet. It's my new horse trailer.
So you've got
Very
you've got
old. What's that, Mark?
oh you've got two horses now, right?
I got a new one last week since actually last Friday.
All right. Do you go riding or just keep it?
Her name is Bonnie. Did I go riding or did I just keep, what are you saying? Yeah, I have her. She's here with me.
Okay.
We do her every day. So anyway, it is top of the hour. I think we will call it for the day. So everybody have a great